Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and my awesome NBs. We are here live in Albany at Hamilton Arena. My name is Marcus Baylor, and to my right is Ryan Eastman. How you doing, my dude? We are now into Game 3 of the FBA Finals.
I'm doing good. It's great to be back in Albany. First final series back in Albany since they won in 2016, and the Albany fans out here tonight are absolutely electric. They are coming into Game 3. Their team's tied one apiece. They managed to steal one on the road, and they have an opportunity here tonight to watch the Alphas get a 2-1 advantage should they defend home court.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest question here because they were able to take game one, but really kind of struggled in game two, mainly due to having the control that they had for Edmonton over for Narcisa Cassius. But now they're at their home field. They have an opportunity to really make some noise. This is where the series really truly begins as we get to see how well this court will be defended.
All eyes are going to be on Narcissa tonight. She was absolutely bullied by the Winnipeg defense in game two. I mean, so many blocks. I think Kevin Malka had 7, and I think 5 or 6 of them came alone against Narcissa. And I will really interested to see how Albany adjust. Are they going to continue to let Narcissa try and fight her way through the defense and figure out the way to beat them, or are we going to see some other first step up on the lineup and take advantage of that little bits of the gap in the defense that Winnipeg is leaving by having to put so much attention on the lemur?
Yeah, I really do hope that it is the latter because like we all know how great Cassius is when it comes to scoring and being able to be that to be one of the main facilitators. But we do also have Terry O'Toole on that squad. Yona Vasanuk is known to scoff at when it comes to scoring as well. And Kivar has shown quite a good play in game two. So there's plenty of players that are able to step up. They just have to find a way to really kind of take over the game when it's needed when if Cassius gets swallowed up again. But of course, the big question is how will Cassius respond compared to all of the focus being on her?
And we'll have to see what Winnipeg does. We saw their offense step it up in game two, but they have to find an answer for the big otter in the post. Watterson was equally dominant on defense with 7 blocks on his end alone. And if the offense had been there for Albany, I think Albany could have walked into this series, this home set up by 2. What can Winnipeg do to get away from the Otter, and how can they make the Otter have to work a bit more for those defensive stops?
Well, I think one of the big things is probably having to rely on the perimeter as well for both Francois and Eve, because as good as both teams have played within the paint, because I believe both teams, half of their points from game two was going into the trenches and really trying to fight for those points, but really trying to get an answer for the perimeter game, which is what Winnipeg did as the game went on, is relying on that perimeter shooting, and I expected for them to do it again.
Yep, and I think I see the players heading down to the floor, so we're going to cut down to the game shortly.
Yep, and we do hear this wild, wild crowd here in Albany. I am very, very excited to see where this is going to be going as the Alphas are in white while Winnipeg is in that navy blue, and we're going to get things going for the tip-off, and it is going to be won by Albany once again.
Again, Cassius Watterson 7-6. It's kind of hard to win the tip-off when you're giving up almost 8 inches on him.
Yeah, for sure, and right now Yona having it over to Kivar. Of course, you really expect them to really kind of get an answer quickly, and they do just that with the quick 2 points, taking the lead at 2-0. Now Francois heading over to Kevin. Kevin had a fantastic game, as we alluded to in the pregame, as he passed it up to Martineau. Getting a quick screen. Oh, loses the ball though, and Cassius almost takes it, and now have less than 5 seconds on the shot clock. They had to do something with it. Going for that tough, long 3, and it is no good. Great defense there in the start for Albany.
Yeah, you can't have Watterson getting picks off like that. His long pause reaching in, and a quick play from Kivar and Albany coming out hot here. 2 quick baskets.
That's what you want to do when it comes to having that home court advantage, really relying on that crowd to really pump you up. And that's a great start here for Albany as Winnipeg has to try to see if they can find an answer here. As Carbonu, awaiting the screen, does get it, but loses the ball as he tries to get into the lane. And Albany with another turnover. So let's see if they take advantage. And they do just that with Kivar with a strong dunk. A 6-0 run in the early going. What a very, very different start to this game.
And that was coming off the pick by Narcissa against Carbonu, stealing the ball away. And again, Kivar, that speed is so dangerous at the power forward position. And as you saw there, he had an open lane to the basket for that dunk.
And now Martino heading over to Eve and
going
for another tough shot. It gets blocked way too easy for Albany. They're just taking every bit of control here in the early going. Great defensive stop there. And I believe that was Cassius with the block. Really vicious one at that one, too.
That it was. Great help defense. And again, he's already had almost a strip and now a block. Albany, different team here at home already in the first 2 minutes of this game. Where was this in game 2?
Yeah, they're showing a lot of aggressiveness and just saying that, yeah, this game, we're not going to let you do what you did to us at home. And they are extending that run to an 8-0 as they get the quick layup. They almost add a double-digit lead already, and we're not even 3 minutes into this.
Yeah, and it's coming off Narcissa. She's not getting the shots, but she is facilitating. She got the steal that led to the basket, and after that, a great assist to Vastenhood. And Watterson.
Yeah, right now we see a foul there on Watterson as we see a player try to go for a quick layup. And we finally see Winnipeg on the board with the first free throw.
It took the dog making it to the charity stripe before that. That's, I mean, yes, you've broken that scoreless streak. Almost 2.5 minutes into the game. First basket, and that is it. Only a 1-point takeaway.
Yeah, and so they're on the board, but only with 1 point. You don't really see that often here in an FBA game, let alone in the finals, as Albany is up by 7. We'll see if they're able to extend this lead, and they do just that with the quick, tough lay-in, as they're up by 9. That was Cassius, I believe, with that score.
Yeah, Narcissa just walking into the paint, basically. And, I mean, Malco was over there almost having flashbacks from Game 2 with his paw going up. But there we go. Nice fadeaway from the Red Dragon over Watterson. That can make up some of that height differential with the fadeaway.
Yeah, and that's going to be really the answer here is Winnipeg is struggling in the early going, still down by 7. They have to make a stop here if they want to at least get back into this game somewhat. Right now, Kivar going over to Narcissa. Narcissa going for the mid-ranger, and it is good. So they are still extending that lead pretty well as now they're up by 9.
Well, I guess the day off was all she needed to get back into her mindset. I mean, she's perfect here tonight so far, and honestly, helping facilitate the players around her as well.
Yeah, and that's going to be really the big key is trying to get her to wake up, and she's doing just that. And Albany's defense is also helping out with that as they, again, another failed possession there on Winnipeg's end. So they have a chance to extend the lead. And Terry going for that long 2, and it is good. We would have liked him to step it back a little bit more for a 3-point, but hey, extending that lead is very important.
It was a very good block. I mean, you want to screen, get it from the 7-6 otter. He can definitely choke up the defense and put some pressure on his Martinu, just trying to get something going with a 3, but no good. And I expect Winnipeg to call a timeout after this next possession because this has been a disastrous start for them here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either, but it seems like they're still going to keep going and seeing how it goes. But they actually got a backcourt violation, so an unforced turnover there, which could give them to swing the momentum their way, but we'll have to see what they can do in this next possession.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of time left to play in this game, but a 14-3 run to start off the game is not what Winnipeg was hoping for, and they just need to start chipping away at this.
And they could do it here as Coquinos is trying to find a way to see if they're able to get closer to the basket, but they may have to give it up. Instead, they try to go for a tough mid-ranger, and it's actually good.
There we go. 7 for 7. The Alpha's perfect from the field so far here.
Yeah, they have not missed once, which is really surprising. They really took advantage of the best shot available, and they're trying to see if they can continue on that stride. As Nakisa hands it over to Kivar, and Kivar is able to lay it up and in. Really good high percentage shooting. And it really kind of just shows how poised this team is at this moment.
Like I said, they're facilitating the plays. Again, Narkissa, an assist there to Kivar. As Baltave will answer back with a bucket of his own down low in the post.
Yeah, and I think that ends like a 6-0 run, I believe. As they have to find a way to try and stop this team from scoring. We see a tough three, and finally we get our first miss from Albany after that tough three. And Winnipeg going for those, having to pick up the pace a little bit as they get a quick, easy layup of 2. Great passing there. Now Terry. Has an over to Cassian. Cassian gets blocked again. That has been the theme from game 2, and that's gonna seems like they're gonna continue here, but they were able to stop the fast break again from the tracks, as it is still Voyager's ball, but really trying to slow things down a little bit for Albany.
Yeah, I think Albany was getting a little too comfortable there, trying to go for those a little bit tougher shots. Don't take your foot off the gas necessarily, but don't take wasted possessions with quick threes.
Yeah, right now Coquino's going for that quick, nice little dish there, as Winnipeg has now cut the deficit down to 5, making this a little bit more of a game here in the opening quarter. Then we got another turnover there for Albany, as Winnipeg now looking for some moves. They go for the mid-range. It's in and out, though.
Yeah, fast break opportunity missed there. Decide to spot up instead of going to the basket. Is Narkissa for 3, no good. But Watterson, with the rebound and the dunk put back.
Great second chance opportunity for the Alphas from Cassius to Cassius, and Albany still has that foot on the gas. But here we are with a long 3, but it's no good from Eve. And now the Alphas trying to go for an alley-oop, and it is good. Nice alley-oop pass over into the paint for Albany, as now they have the extended back up to 9. They are trying their hardest to break it into a double-digit lead, but Winnipeg does call for a timeout.
Well, they're definitely giving their fans a bit of a showing, getting their money's worth. 2 back-to-back dunks, one off of a great offensive board, and then the second, an alley-oop to the Jaguar. Bit high flying coming out from Albany here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and it really just kind of just changes the entire shift of what's going on here for the Alphas. They have just been in stride for majority of the game. Winnipeg has to do something to try and calm them down, and as well try to heat on up, because they have been putting the baskets down, but it's just the defense that's in question. And right now, we're trying to go for a tough lay-in. It is good.
And that was Ide driving down into the post, the Raccoon making it work, splitting the defense. But we see both teams have made most of their substitutions. I think Kivar is the only starter still on the floor for the Alphas.
Yeah, and Isijima going for a tough shot, but it's going in and out, so Winnipeg could have a chance to really make some noise. It was the second unit that has been one of the bigger stories here in game 2, by scoring half of their points, I believe.
40 of the 100 points scored by Winnipeg the other night was by their bench, and it was Caliber with 3.
Really good shot there from Caliber, and now the deficit is now cut down to 4. So second unit for the Alphas really have to try and contain what the lead is at this moment.
I mean, considering all the work the starters put into building such a lead, and Cloverfield, nice step back. We saw her struggle just a little bit in game 2, having to. Was that Cloverfield?
I believe it was.
I'm losing my mind. I feel like no. I think that was Fitch Loomis. Sorry.
Yeah,
I will double check once he has the ball again, but I'm pretty sure that was actually Fitch Loomis with the ball.
Yeah, now Bendendorf has to do something here. Trying to go for that tough shot, but it's no good as Albany does get the board. And we see Kivar passing it over to Clover. Clover going for 3, and it is an easy switch there as they extend the lead back up to 9. And I believe that is still the biggest lead in the game so far for Albany. Right now, Kara passes it over to Lynn. Lynn passes it up to Ide. Got the quick screen, got an open lane, and he's able to get fouled. And that'll be Ivar's, probably first personal, so.
Yeah, and it was time for him to get subbed out anyways, probably. He's been on the floor since the start of the game. Give him a bit of a breather and bring him back in the second quarter with the rest of the starters. Is Winnipeg still down by 7 here.
After making both of those free throws, Winnipeg still trying to keep it within arm's reach, but Albany still has not slowed down when it comes to the scoring ability. And this team is known to really be on fire when it comes to their scoring ability. We'll see if that continues here.
As I said, they have an explosive core. I mean, even a couple players off the bench. We talked about like Fitch Loomis being a bit of a perimeter shooter. And it's going to be on Winnipeg's bench to keep up the pace with that nice lay-in there.
Yeah, really just trying to keep pace with Winnipeg did a really good job scoring in game 2, so they've scoring, but
well, it's Fitch Loomis for 3 as I brought him up just a little while ago.
Trying to find their stride, and it's due. Yeah, right now Albany's still just trying to keep that lead to at least a 3 game.
Marcus, you're breaking up on
trying to go and
yeah, I think you need to fix your mic real quick. I'll take over for just a minute. It's down by 8 with a minute left in the quarter. Loomis inside the paint, no good. Winnipeg seeing if they can answer after that miss. Nice open shot in the paint to Caro, going to the line for 2.
All right, is everything good over here?
Yeah, I can hear you good now.
Okay, yeah, it's just, sorry about that, dealing with some technical difficulties.
Caro heading to the line for 2, got the first one, and some more substitutions from the bench with only about 2 possessions left in this first quarter.
Yeah, and I have to say that with Winnipeg really trying to do their best to stay within it, but they just haven't found a way to find that stride that they had in game 2 defensively.
Well, I mean, Malka hasn't had 2 blocks yet, which was the pace he was at in game 2 there. But again, speaking of blocks, of course, as soon as I say that, Lynn gained the block on Cloverfield.
Yeah, and with a good turnover there, so Winnipeg could cut the deficit down to 4 if they would like to, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case, as Albany does get the board, and Loomis able to extend the lead instead, and I think that's probably going to be the final for this quarter, as Winnipeg see if they can get the final shot off, and they do with a long 3, and it is no good, hitting the side of the rim, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. The Alphas 30, the Voyagers 22.
Yeah, and I mean, what a first quarter for the Alphas after the struggles they had in the second half of game 2. They definitely needed a strong start here tonight in order to show that they can take this home, take advantage of this home court advantage they built for themselves after winning game 1.
Yeah, for sure. After being essentially getting knocked out in the second half of game 2, a little bit of reverse story of game 1, they just wanted to make sure that, hey, we got that wake-up call. They're here to play as we go into the second quarter. And right now, Winnipeg still trying to go for toe-for-toe, trying to stay within reach of Albany with that quick lay-in. Now Hunt. Might be calling for ISO, but instead hands it over to Loomis. Trying to go for the quick screen. Got the switch that they need. Possibly trying to go relying on his speed, but instead goes for a tough three-point shot, but it's no good. So Clover has to go for desperation, and it hits the side of the rim way, way under. Not sure what they were doing with that possession, but the ball gets stolen by Cloverfield. So as I say that, Cloverfield handed over to Loomis. Lots of stuff going on right now for Albany as those quick two possessions. We hit for another tough three, but it's in and out.
Yeah, I think Loomis is the main scorer, feels like coming off the bench at times for the Alphas, so trying to get the ball through his paws, but again, Winnipeg knows that. They know to collapse on him. As we see Timmons getting wide open, but no good. Too much mustard on that.
Yeah, really trying to rely on Timmons' speed there, but no avail as Loomis looking to try to use a little bit of speed of his own, but has to back out after being collapsed pretty quickly. Instead, hands it over to Hunt. Hunt able to get by his defender, and he lays it up and in.
Yeah, good little layup there from the rookie, beating out Timmons. Again, the switch. He had the advantage in his size and weight against the pronghorn, and definitely took advantage of that there. But again, Timmons not to be outdone, drives to the basket himself and answers back.
Yeah, it seems like we're having a little bit of a point guard party. Both players are trying their best to show their speed within this game, trying to get to the rim. Now the Alphas have a chance to extend their lead up to 8. As he hands over to Hunt. Hunt immediately dishes over to Tick. And right now, Loomis passes it up, going for 3, and it is good. Great passing there for Albany.
Again, that was a great play setup to get Loomis open. Hunt dishing down in the post and actually being a bit of a blocker on Loomis's defender, allowing Loomis to get open on the perimeter. Like I said, good setup from the second unit here.
Yeah, Mike Timmons tried to rely on the screen, but it got collapsed real quick and instead hands it over to Hunt, but misses it on that time. So now Albany has a chance to extend the lead again and possibly be the first time going into double digits. We'll see. As Loomis tries to go for the quick 3, but it hits the front of the rim this time. It's no good. Now AJ hands it over to Timmons. Timmons does have the size advantage, but instead backs off a little bit. Right now we see a quick screen for AJ, and AJ's trying to get into the basket, but a lot of passing back and forth and almost loses the ball there, and so they have to go for a desperation heave, and it is no good. Not a really good chance to use for that opportunity for Winnipeg.
Yeah, Yagori basically caught the ball and had 0.2 seconds left to make a decision, and the only option was to huck it up in the air. And I mean, it was a good shot attempt for how little time he had to make that choice.
And speaking of losing time, Loomis has to probably do something with it, but instead hands it to Cloverfield for a 3, and it's once again in and out. Both teams really milking the shot clock, but it just seems more so that both defenses are on it for the most part.
Yeah, they're definitely playing close, not letting too many openings, and they're switching a little bit away from the ISO. They're going more to drawn up plays, which is definitely burning more of that clock.
Yeah, right now, once again, trying to go for a tough 3, not finding any kind of opening, but Lynn was not boxed out, and he goes with a quick 2, and now the timeout goes over to the Alphas as they are up by 7, but Winnipeg just showing that grit and toughness once again in this game.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to box her out when, you know, the person guarding you is the shooting guard, and, you know, she's a power forward, small forward. The Pink Man is able to step in just easily around the defender and pull down that board. I think that's why Timmons probably felt comfortable taking that 3, knowing that Lynn was down there in the post. As you see, I think all the starters coming back out for both teams.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of the first unit really get a chance to come in and try and get some more control here into this game for both sides, as we can see Baltov hands over to Martineau, but gets fouled there by Vasanu for a reach-in, so it'll still be Winnipeg's ball, no free throws, as it wasn't a scoring foul. Francois trying to go for the quick layup, and it is really good. Nice teardrop there, as Winnipeg now cuts the deficit down to 5. And right now, Albany's trying to get a quick answer, but it's no good. Once again, Cassius not having a great night as the field goal percentage just dropped just like that. Another cold night for her. That's Yona. Hands it over to O'Toole. O'Toole has an easy lane for the quick 15-footer. Pretty easy shot for him there.
Yeah, I almost wish he had just elevated for the dunk there, but you know what? I mean, it's a made basket either way. They can't really afford to get too fancy. If he missed a dunk, that would certainly be not the kind of momentum he's looking to build right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take the easiest baskets, is a good basket, as Eve is able to go for a quick 3, cut the deficit down 2-4, because the game is still pretty close, and you want to do everything that you can to make sure that bucket goes in. Sometimes going for the simple play is better than go for the flashy plays.
Yeah, and as we see tonight, both teams relying a bit more on the three-point game, but Kivar, oh, there we go, being flashy.
That really got the crowd going here, as Kivar has already got 10 points in the game. We only got under 6 minutes of the first half, and we'll see how Winnipeg responds. And they aren't able to they're able to try to respond at all, as another missed layup. So now Yona pulling back a little bit, hands it over to Cassius. Cassius trying to get into the paint, but is guarded really well and gets blocked there. Bekakinos.
Winnipeg has the wall of defense, and Albany has the athleticism, and it's just going to see which one comes out on top, and they cannot let Kokinos battle Narcissa. That is a terrible matchup, and I know that comes off of a switch, but the defense has to be more alert and switch back. They can't let the lemur have to fight the dragon. This is not a fairy tale. She is not going to come out on top.
Yeah, that's just straight up bully ball for Kokinos on that possession. We'll see if Cassius is trying to find a way to, but dishes over to
Cassius to Cassius.
Watterson. Yeah, Cassius to Cassius with a quick lay-in. Really good. Really just showing her facilitating moves.
Well, you saw there, the defense, you saw, 2 of them were focusing on Narcissa, and that just left Watterson wide open. And that's what she has to do here tonight. She has to accept that, okay, I'm not going to be making a 20-point game, but I can get 20 assists if I have to. As Martineau answers back with one of his own, the field goal percentages are equaling out.
Yeah, they are, but the Alphas are still doing really, really well. 56%. It's just unheard of. And right now, we get to see Cassius not able to get that teardrop in. So Winnipeg has a chance to really cut the deficit down to only 2, and it's not going to be the case here. They get blocked by Watterson.
Not only blocked from behind, and without causing a foul to be drawn. That is great body control from the Otter.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they were not going to be able to take advantage of that block, as Winnipeg trying to speed things up with a huge dunk. And that's a way to cut the deficit down to only 1 possession. And you got to be thinking a little bit worried here for the Alphas, as they have lost a 9-point lead in this game, now only up by 2.
Yeah, we knew Winnipeg was going to have to start scoring eventually. They could not continue to have that kind of drought they had earlier, and obviously Albany was not going to be able to keep 100% field goal percentage. But Martineau for, oh no, I was going to say for 3, but this paw just inside the line.
Yeah, if he was just a little bit far behind, they could be in the lead right now, but they have it tied up 41 apiece. We'll see if Albany is able to try and at least keep the lead and not have it change, and that's not going to be the case, as Cassius gets blocked. Narcissa has to find somebody open, but instead tried to go for a tough 3, and it's going to hit the side of the rim. It's no good. Winnipeg has the ball. They have a chance to take the lead, and it'll be the first lead of the game, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
If they're able to do so.
Albany had that huge lead to start with, and I mean, they've finally whittled away at it. It's a chance here. First lead change of the game, if they can get this shot to fall, and no good.
Yeah, right in and out for Winnipeg, as now Cassius trying to get it, but the other Cassius lays it up and dunks it, I think. Really really hitting hard on the court there, but they're able to at least keep the lead over to them. And they're trying to get for a quick alley, but it's no good as Watterson really just upping up his defense. Now Yona hands it over to Kivar. Kivar trying to get into the paint. He does so, and he is not able to get it down. So really good defensive effort for both sides so far.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what changes the two teams make at halftime. As Voltave blocked, ball out of bounds, will remain with the Voyagers thanks to that block, but only 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, great defensive effort there for the Alphas. As they're really trying to make sure that they at least keep some kind of lead at the end of the first half, but Winnipeg is not really giving up without a fight. They go for a tough three, but it's no good, so it's a shot clock violation. Great defense once again for the Alphas.
Yeah, and I have to say, I mean, yes, Winnipeg has had a few blocks, but I feel like the Alphas defense has been the better of the two here tonight, despite the score being so close. As Watterson wants to do it himself, but no. Oscar!
Ooh.
The big dog slamming it down.
What a way to extend this lead up to 4, and really just trying to keep the crowd in it, because now the crowd is just going crazy yelling defense as Caliber. Hand it over to Micah.
And that's just absolutely cruel. The 7-5 St. Bernard and the 7-6 Otter just toying with the defense there, passing back and forth. And how do you beat two giants like that unless you have two of your own?
Yeah, and right now, Albany is just having every little set of bets in the way as they're able to go into the paint once again with a quick finger roll, and it is good. And right now, Albany has somewhat of a little bit of a cushion, as this is the second to the last possession of the first half. It's Ide looking into the paint for Kokinos. Kokinos trying to lay it up, and it is good.
Now time for one quick play, but I think it's just going to be Vastenhout taking a three. Oh, so close. That would have been big to go into the half up by 7, but I think Albany will take it being up by 4, 47-43. We'll dive into the stats in just a minute, but a bit of a turnaround for the Winnipeg Voyagers if we could forget the first 4 minutes of the game. It would almost be an advantage for them, but Albany with that huge run to start with set the tone for the first half, and the momentum I feel like is still leaning slightly Albany's way. As we head into the stats now. For Albany, Kivar, 5 for 6 from the field with 2 blocks, getting it done. Definitely the standout on the Alphas here tonight. Vastenhout, 6 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, and a block as well. And Watterson, 3 blocks also. 6 rebounds, 6 points, on track for a double-double, and perfect from the field again. Absolutely stepping up tonight, the Otter, on offense and defense. Terry O'Toole, 2 for 3, 4 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. No three-pointers attempted yet. And Narcissa, again, the struggles continue. The defense has been all over her. 4 points, 2 rebounds, but she has been much more active on the offensive side with her assists, 6 total so far. If she keeps giving out the assists like she has been and focuses less on shooting, I think Alphas pull away in the second half. As Loomis, again, off the bench, 10 points, but we saw him go cold last game in the second half, so he has to maintain this momentum if he wants to be effective. Cloverfield hitting a 3. Only basket of the game for her so far, along with the steal. Henderson, a 1 rebound, 1 assist in her 7 minutes on the floor. Oscar, that huge dunk and a big block also coming out for the St. Bernard. Ishijima, not a lot of time on the floor to do much, has 1 missed shot. Same for Tapisa. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and Hunt getting the similar limited minutes here tonight. But as we dive on over to the Voyagers, it's been Kokinos that's been carrying the offense for the Voyagers. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. Carbonu, 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Malka, quiet tonight on defense, 1 block. Considering he had 7 in the last game, they've done well to avoid falling to his defensive pressure. So Malka needs to step it up in this game if Winnipeg wants to close it out and get back home court advantage. Balte, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Francois, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, a steal, and a block. The Doggo doing a bit of everything in 14 minutes. Lynn, 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks. Good defense coming out from the Pink Mantis. Caro, 2 points, 1 rebound, 2 free throws. Middendorf, 2 points, 2 rebounds, and Caliber with the big 3 to go along with 1 rebound. Ide coming off the bench with 6 minutes has put up 4 points and 2 assists as well, making the most of his minutes off the bench. And Timids, 2 points and a rebound. Yugori, 2 points and a rebound as well. And we will get started in the second half. What are your thoughts, Marcus?
Well, I think the big thing is the fact that Albany has really kind of stepped up the plate ever since that game 2 second half deficit. And once again, Albany continuing to show their defensive prowess as they get a quick turnover. But yeah, right now, both teams are really it seems to be the theme of Albany really trying to take that punch, but Winnipeg finding a way to catch up as we only get a 4-point deficit at this moment. But Albany not able to take advantage of that turnover, and Winnipeg trying to go for a quick 3-ball, but it's no good. So it just seems that both teams really want to go fast-paced, but now they've decided, we're going to have to slow this down a little bit as Kivar really deep behind the 3-point line as he's trying to wait for a screen, and he does get it. Kivar trying to use his speed to lay it up, but it's no good.
Yeah, that play took too long to develop. I don't know what their plan was the whole time. Obviously, it seemed like they wanted a screen from Oscar, but he didn't have enough time to really set it up properly. As Balte gets left open in the defensive transition, the threat of a screen was there. The defense tried to switch early, and it left him open. The Puffin getting the 3 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, what a really much needed 3 there. There comes it down to 1. So now Albany have to clinch into that lead as they have to find some kind of answer. Trying to get deep into the paint, but gets blocked way too easy there for Malka. And Winnipeg now has a chance to take the lead here. And they might be able to do this with a tough shot, and they do get it. Really great control there by Eve.
I think that was Francois, actually, that made that shot.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, now we finally see Winnipeg having their first lead of the night. I mean, it's hard to imagine because Albany was darn near up almost by 10, especially in the early going of this game.
Yeah, they were, and Watterson answering right back. And definitely need to see what Albany is going to do here because they have had Winnipeg nipping at their heels, and finally they've caught up to them. Can they put the pressure back on them and build up another big lead, or can Winnipeg slip ahead here?
We'll see how it goes here as Kokinos really having to fight for his life into the paint and has to go for a tough fadeaway. It's no good. So again, that size is really showing to be a huge problem there for Winnipeg as Albany gets to extend the lead back up to 3.
And right there, it's the Big Furs that have been leading the way for both teams. Andreas and Kivar, 12 points each over their respective teams.
Yeah, now you're hearing the crowd screaming defenses. They need to find some kind of play developing, but right now we can see only ISO. But now passing over to Marnu. Marnu trying to go for the open 3, but it's no good.
Watch out, Narkiss on the side. Oh, nope. Yves all over her.
And right now, Terry had to go for the long 2, and it is no good. So now Winnipeg could cut the deficit again, and they go for a quick lay-in. for Carbonu, as now the deficit is now back over to 1, and Winnipeg really just going tooth and nail with this team, as both of them really trying to drive into the paint as much as possible.
Yeah, you don't blame them. They've been very consistent down low.
Yeah, and another block on Cassius there as Winnipeg does get the rock back, and Martineau gets a quick dunk, making it pretty easy as they take the lead once again.
Yeah, the defense got lost there. Narcissa, I believe, was the one who got trapped behind the big fur, and there was no switch from either Kivar or Watterson to cover the paint, and Martineau just left wide open for that dunk, and that's just a bit of miscommunication there, and we can't see any panic start coming in. It looks like actually they do want to bring in the bench, who were able to build up a 9-point lead at one point, so maybe an opportunity for them to use the rested legs to do that again. That's one way.
Ooh. Yep, Luma's going for the quick 3. Really good control there. And now they're up by 2. Timmons really had a pretty good first half. We'll see if he's able to continue that stride as Timmons tries to lay it up, and it's no good. Now Cloverfield heading up to Loomis. Loomis laying it up and in, and it's good.
Well, I made comment that he can't go cold like he did in game 2, but he definitely is not doing that here tonight. 5 points in the first minute. He's back in the game.
Yeah, right now that's going to be the spark they need off the bench to try and, contain the lead. As Winnipeg is just showing that they are not afraid to punch back either as they get the quick 2. Really trying to make sure that it stays within at least 1 possession so they can take this lead.
Meanwhile, we know it's going to be Loomis on the other end. He is feeling it right now, and he wants to drive to the paint and does get contact against Lynn.
Yeah, really trying to rely on the speed to really draw that foul. So now they will have a chance to extend the lead back up to 4, depending on these 2 free throws. And that was definitely a free throw shot attempt, but it does go in.
Look, you cannot get any jinxing going on here tonight. No caster's curse. We saw plenty of that game 2.
Yeah, we'll
and look, his his free throw percentage is higher than yours so far in your career. So.
Hey man, I haven't been in the league in a while, so we don't have to bring any of that up.
Oh, do I need to look up your stats?
Oh, please don't. I think that's anyone interested in that. Is we get a quick layup there from Caro. I think it's more important to really try and call this game, as this is the biggest series of the year. And, of course, we're going to continue doing that as we get a nice 3-pointer for Albany.
Oh, no, I'm not looking it up. That's what the interns are for.
No, they don't have to look at that. Save that for the offseason, Brian. Goodness. And Winnipeg not able to get the score there, so Albany's has a chance to extend the lead again to a more comfortable cushion. As Loomis, once again, really trying to show his stride, but it gets blocked pretty easily. But Hunt trying to clean things up, not able to get it down. But Albany still gets the shot opportunities anyways. Really not a good job of boxing out, as they had pretty much just got 2 straight offensive boards back to back.
Well, and that came down to Lynn. That was her 3rd block. She was away from the post, and that left a good opportunity for the Alphas to get those offensive rebounds. So, I mean, it's pick your poison. Do you go for the block and leave offensive rebounds open, or do you go for boxing out? As we see, Loomis is still refusing to cool off. That's 22 points in only 12 minutes here tonight.
Yeah, Loomis has just really been on fire throughout this entire game. Just really trying to put this team on its back right now. But right now, Timmons trying to see if they can answer back, and he does do just that. So now Timmons does quiet the crowd a little bit. They do need to get a stop here, especially. They may have to double team Loomis if he continues on this stride, because they are going to be looking for him. And they are going to do just that, and they do box him quickly, and he gets blocked.
But Tapisi's there to pick it up and put it in anyways.
Yeah, and that really kind of goes to show how much of an advantage it is to have a player like Loomis just being completely on fire, and Timmons trying to find his way into the paint, and he does just that, laying it up and in. So it seems like it's going to be a Timmons battle late in the third quarter. Right now, we're seeing a tough shot there. It is blocked pretty easy by Caro. Didn't really find anybody to pretty much pass it to, so just have to go for a desperation jumper, but to no avail. Ryu hands it over to Timmons. Timmons passes it over to Caro. Has a great size advantage, but instead dishes it back up to Timmons. Timmons going for a tough three, and it hits the back of the rim, and it'll be Albany's ball with the rebound. Now Hunt going for a mid-range, and it is, again, no good. So now both teams are starting to cool off a little bit. But Martin, excuse me, get the quick, easy two.
Yagori, you mean?
Yeah, Igori. Sorry about that.
It's okay, as Winnipeg finds themselves down by 3 and a timeout called. Albany not wanting to let this lead slip away. Again, second unit has done well maintaining this lead. It's been through Fitch Loomis here.
Yeah, it's really been a very fun time seeing these two teams really just going head to head, especially within the paint. And right now, Loomis has really been a big answer, but a costly turnover there. Really bad pass on Loomis as Winnipeg is able to get that turnover. So we'll see if Winnipeg is able to take advantage as they get a quick cross up, going for that mid-ranger, but it's no good. Now Takiro hands it over to Loomis once again. Loomis passes it over to Tick.
The Polar Bear
Tick
blocked, though.
Getting blocked. Yeah, really not a good sign there. Trying to see if they can get something out of the paint, but to no avail as now Winnipeg has a chance out of the deficit, but loses the ball, and it will still be Voyagers, luckily, with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. That could have spelled disaster if it would have been a quick turnover.
Yeah, lucky it was out by Albany there. It did not look like that was going to be the case. You see a bit of a highlight from some of the blocks earlier this game.
Yeah, that's been really one of the big keys here this game as well. We've seen quite a few blocks from both sides. Now Caliber gets the quick screen. Passes it over to Mindendorf. AJ hands it over to Kevin. Kevin, fadeaway jumper, and it is in and out.
Painted the entire rim on its journey there as Loomis just wants to put up points here tonight. He is on track for 30 if he keeps this up.
Yeah, for sure. He's just really finding ways to be open and going for those easy, quick lay-ins, and he has been the offensive spark for the Alphas. Kind of been the unsung hero for this game.
I mean, he's getting it done from the perimeter. He's getting it done from inside. I mean, he is showing why he was a 6th for the year potential candidate.
Yeah, and right now, Albany's not able to get that quick bucket as the other end is a different story as Cora is able to get the quick dunk. And now, we get to see if the Alpha is able to capitalize, try to mix an answer back, but it's not going to be a case here as Ide gets the rebound. I hand it up to Middendorf. AJ. Trying to get some going. Lots of movement here as Cora gets dished to and gets the easy bucket.
And right there, Winnipeg has slipped ahead in terms of field goal percentage as the Albany Alphas have not been able to keep pace as they did in the first quarter. It's only been thanks to the offensive boards that they maintain a lead here.
Yeah, and that's really kind of been the name of the game. Winnipeg once again locking things down as they get another missed three-point attempt. Mindendorf has the opportunity to take the lead for Winnipeg. It gets the quick screen. Didn't really do much of it though, so he has to go for a tough jumper, and he does get it in pretty easily. So now they take the lead, the second lead change of the, well, third lead change of the game, excuse me. Second lead for Winnipeg.
And you see, even though it's been a 14-6 run, it's been over 10 minutes. That's both teams slowing down their scoring. And Albany, they haven't really gone cold in the sense that they've had a long drought. They just have these small spurts of 1 or 2 minutes without easy basket. And they do manage to pull ahead here, but the last possession of the quarter belonging to Winnipeg. See if they can do the same, and they do.
Ooh. 1.8 seconds left in the third quarter. They're going to go for a quick heave, but instead they're just going to go ahead and let the clock run out.
I think Loomis wanted to get a little closer, just misjudged the time, but it wouldn't have counted even if it had gone in.
Yeah, so now Winnipeg is up by 172-71. Really great effort there for Winnipeg, trying to get the lead, finally getting the lead again. Since the last time they led was pretty much early on in the third quarter, I believe.
Yeah, well, again, all that matters is who's in the lead as the final buzzer sounds. It's definitely a big momentum to go into the final 12 minutes of this game with a 1-point lead after the tough battle they faced this whole game. But now all the starters are back, I believe, on the floor.
Yeah, we see Cassius. See if she can turn it up this late in the game. Let's pass it over to Terry for three, in and out. Not a good start there for Albany as we get to see a quick dish over to Coquinos, and Coquinos slams it home.
It actually looks like Winnipeg, or the Alphas, still have two of their bench players in, two of the bench bigs, giving them a bit of a chance to have an opportunity to rest Kivar and Watterson for the final couple minutes of the game.
Yeah, and right now we see Yona trying to play forward a little bit. They have to do something with that ball. Having to go for a tough three, and it's no good. But Isijima does get the rebound, so it's still going to be Alphas with a second chance opportunity.
Oh, traveling.
And really, oh.
Yeah,
that is not something you want to see. Yeah, they probably going to have to after that struggle within the paint, trying to find a way to get an easy shot within the basket, but too many steps really costed them. And instead of possibly getting a chance for a 1-point deficit due to a turnover, you could see a 5-point deficit with an easy shot like that, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and don't forget, fans out there, that if the ball hits the rim and the offense gets the ball, it does not reset the shot clock to 24. It only goes to 14. Does not give them enough time to really make a new play. As Narcissa, a three, left that wide open. Are you insane, Winnipeg, to leave her that crazily open?
Yeah, I mean, we know the struggle that she's had in this game and the previous one, but leaving someone open like that with Cassius' caliber is not something you want to do, and you can't really do this easy either. I would get a nice little finger roll on Winnipeg's end as they extend the lead back up to 4.
Yes, and Watterson with the ball. Again, both teams now pulling in all of their starters.
Yeah, and that's really what you got to do in these final crunching minutes, as the Alphas are not able to try and cut the deficit down to 2. Martinu trying to get a quick drive, and he does, able to get the layup, as they have now started to make a cushion of their own, and Albany's starting to lose it a little bit here. Ibar trying to go for a quick pass across the court, but it's to no avail. Now Winnipeg has an opportunity to really extend the lead, and they do just that, and they're almost to a double-digit lead from that dish alone. Very costly turnover there for Albany.
Yeah, and I really want to see Albany actually call timeout here. They've lost the momentum. Is blocked there by the Dragon again. I feel like Albany needs to reset here. They can't let this lead build up. Winnipeg, first big lead of the game.
First big lead, and to come at a perfect time here is Coquinos. He's got the size advantage, but instead tries to go for a fadeaway, and it's no good. So Albany has an opportunity to try and cut this deficit down once again, try to see if they get that momentum back. And they could possibly do it here with Watterson, and Watterson does lay it in. So now they're only down by 6. I would see Watson and Coquinos really battling hard, 14 and 10 points respectively for each of them. And now Albany's trying to pick it up on defense. We'll see if they're able to cover the deficit even more so as Cassius have it over to Vassenhood. Yona gets the quick screen. Said dishes over to Terry. Terry has been awfully quiet this game. See if he's going to do something here with that mid-ranger, and it does nothing for them, and he does misses the 20-footer.
Yeah, Albany can't let Winnipeg just milk the clock like this. I mean, obviously playing defense is the aim of the game as Baltave getting the over-the-shoulder pass, dish down low in the post, laying it up and in. And Albany feels probably starting to feel the crunch of the clock here as they have less than 8 minutes to make up this 8-point deficit.
Yeah, but let's see, Cassie is trying to go for a three, but it's in and out. But Watterson with a great board there, putting his paw over two defenders. But it's to no avail as Winnipeg's able to swipe it away pretty quickly. And we see a quick foul there from Watterson. And Watterson looks seeing a little bit of frustration on his end.
Well, I mean, he made that great offensive board again over two defenders without getting an over-the-back call. Really great. Now, we're back to free throws, so I can now read off this paper, Marcus. This paper in my hand says that you were a 72% free throw shooter in the last 3 years of your career.
Are you serious right now? Are you really doing this?
You want to take a guess what Fitz Loomis has been this year?
No, I'd rather not do this. I'd rather focus on a wonderful game that we're having.
89%. And with that, Malcolm made the first one. And Marcus is not allowed to comment on anyone's free throw shooting.
Okay, all right.
Look, at least you didn't airball in the All-Star game like DQ did. Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay. I mean, at least we played a freaking FBA game, Ryan Eastman. Jeez.
Hey, just because I wasn't, 6'8", doesn't mean I can't play in the celebrity game. Is Narcissa dunking it down off the turnover?
I honestly would like to see that. You better put your name in there for next year. But anyways, let's go ahead and get back into this game as Winnipeg is now up by 6. Now heads it over to Francois. Francois really trying to find a way to quiet down this crowd as Coquinos got the size advantage, going for that quick layup, and it's good. That size really playing a huge role here for Coquinos as he has 16 points and 7 boards in the game so far. Now Keybar. Pass it over to Cassius. Pass it up to Watson. Ooh.
And that's great. You saw her driving to the paint, getting two defenders on her after that big dunk. Defense was focusing on her, and Watterson just left wide open at the free throw line.
Yeah, really good offensive effort there for Albany. And now they really just have to get some kind of defensive stop here. And Coquinos trying to lay it up, and it is good. Coquinos just really has been the main problem as this game really kind of start winding down.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, he's definitely been all over the place. And again, Narcissa, good corner awareness to get it over to Terry, who drives to the paint, but the defense is just too tough.
Yeah, really good vision there from Cassius. Terry, unfortunately, not be able to get the finish. And now Winnipeg could have a chance to extend this to a double-digit lead, which could really spell a disaster. They have to get a stop here. And right now, Coquinos once again could probably use his power, but great defensive effort there from Watterson. So they're able to stop that from happening. And Watterson was going to get fed, but Coquinos had no choice but to draw the foul to prevent an easy dunk from happening.
Yeah, that was just a great play. I mean, obviously using the momentum the Otter had to drive to the basket. And again, a bit of a hard foul was the only way to really stop him from making that easy shot. So free throw, charity stripe, we find ourselves at.
And these and these free throw shots are going to be very, very important as we're under 5 minutes left for this game. As they're trying to make sure they're not going to give the home field advantage back to Winnipeg as we get another quick shot as he makes both.
6-point
now
game here.
They're only down by 2 possessions, but they need to get a stop here if they want to have a chance to win. As once again, huge battle there and a great block there. It's still Voyager's ball, but Waterson is letting Coquinos know that you are in my turf now.
I was going to say, it's been the 2 young guns for both teams at the center position, definitely stepping up in this game. Both of them having an impact on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, now we're seeing a quick dish there. Nice dish. And a 1. What a great dish over to Baltov. What great court awareness there. As they have a chance for an old school 3-point play. And they are able to do just that. And now we are back to a 9-point deficit with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left of the game clock. We get a quick timeout from the Alphas.
Yeah, I wanted to say, Marcus, what do you think Albany is saying here right now? I mean, obviously, at times it seems like they're about to break back, get within a possession or two, but Winnipeg always seems to have an answer for them. What changes does Albany have to do here?
I think really the big thing is just to try and force Winnipeg's hand to not utilize the paint as much as they have, because it just seems like Coquinos is just bullying everybody within the paint so far.
Well, not just that, but his assists down low in the post have just been unreal. Getting the ball down there to Baltave, and even if he's drawing the defense out, he's making it work for other Furs in the post.
Yeah, and it's been really kind of the biggest plays here as Cassius. We'll see if she finds some kind of magic as she hands it over to Yona. Yona got a quick screen, could get a quick dish over to Kivar. Kivar does get it, and he's not able to get it down though. So now Francois trying to get it into the basket, but ends up losing the ball there. Waterson does have the ball in his paws as Cassius possibly looking for something. Hands it over to Yona.
Keep an eye on Terry.
Terry had an opportunity to do something with it, but is guarded pretty well very quickly. Lots of movement. Waterson trying to go for a fadeaway, and he does get it down. So it looks like Waterson might have to play a little bit of hero ball as the other options have not really been there for Albany. But of course, they have to get a stop here as Coquinos once again really just showing his strut, but not this time. As Terry gets the rebound. And Terry hands it over to Cassius, and Cassius does draw the foul on Carboneau, and she gets to go on the line for 2.
Carboneau better be careful. That was a little high there against Narcissa. I mean, it looked like he kept it at the shoulder level. Any higher, that would have been a flagrant 2.
Yeah, for sure, as Cassius does get the second one down, and now they're only down by 5, so they have made this game a little bit more intriguing.
Well, I mean, I would like to see the flagrant 2 from Yves or Narcissa. I'd like to be in that car on the way home after that game.
Yeah, and now Waterson is able to get the the Winnipeg's able to go ahead and get the quick 2.
Yeah, Andreas answering back immediately, and Malka, big blocker. I think that was actually Coquinos with the block.
Ooh. Yeah, right. Really good defense there as we have Carboneau trying to go it up, but it's in and out. Now Bassenhood. That's over to 2 for 3, and it's no good.
Terry has been cold, the reigning MVP here tonight. Hasn't had as many shots go up, but struggling in the second half.
But Albany's still trying to go tooth and nail, trying to see if they get the quick 2. And Kivar gets the rebound and is up and good. So it's still a 2-possession game on Winnipeg, but Albany has to find a way to get a stop. Instead, with we got only less than 2 minutes left of the game, they need to have a defensive stop here if they really want to have a chance to win.
And immediately
And
they prove otherwise.
yeah, not a good spot there. Now Albany really has to get 2 quick shots to possibly make some noise here. As Cassius trying to find a way to fight into the paint, but it is no good. But Kivar is able to clean things up.
Yeah, Kivar being the safety net for the Alphas here tonight, the veteran.
Yeah, right now they are doing everything. The crowd is all in it, and a nice block there from Watterson. Ladies and gentlemen, we are really getting down to the wire. They do need to get a basket, but a quick block really silencing this crowd and giving Winnipeg another opportunity to try to extend this and probably put the icing on the cake. Now, right now, what better person to do than Coquinos, but we get an offensive 3-second violation. Very costly turnover there for Winnipeg. And now the crowd is starting to get on their feet. Cassius laying it up, and it's no good, and
Yeah, just getting really hard right now for both teams. I mean, there we go, Winnipeg able to score. Malka up by 7 with less than a minute to go, and Albany's chances are slipping quickly with each missed shot.
Yeah, and now they're going to have to find a way to get 3 shots in to possibly win this game in under a minute. So they have to score quick in these next couple of possessions and have to go full court press to either foul or perhaps get a turnover for them to have a really good shot at winning this game.
I wonder if they'll bring Fitch back in. He's been offensive spark for them, and with his three-point shooting, he could potentially be a good option. Maybe remove Kivar and slide Terry over to power forward, increase the three-point shooting ability. But it doesn't look like they've gone that route here.
Yeah, we'll see if this is going to try to go for the quick 3 as Yona passes over to Cassius. Cassius trying to drive her way into the paint, but it is no good, and that's probably all she wrote for that one with that costly miss, as Coquinos just pretty much put the nail on the coffin with that quick dunk.
I mean, that's just him showing off at this point. And I mean, as you hear the crowd absolutely silent now, is Winnipeg looking like they will take back home court advantage here, stealing one immediately in Baltave. Oh, a little bit of bad manners here, I feel like, with less than 30 seconds to go, shooting 3 just to put Winnipeg up by 12.
Yeah, that's a little bit dirty there. I think that there's going to be some words exchanged after the game for that one. That's not something you see. And of course, Cassie is just trying to open it up with her own. Say, okay, if you want to play that game, we'll play that game.
Did you
but
see
I think after that,
Martin about fell over there. She broke his ankles on that. A little bit of bad manners back on her part to answer, but unfortunately, Winnipeg is going to go home smiling tonight as they somehow win Game 3 on the road and take back home court advantage. So we go through the stats. It was definitely Kivar and Watterson stepping up for the Alphas. The backcourt was just not enough for Albany here tonight. It was all the paint. Everyone else, unfortunately, that except for Fitch Loomis. Fitch Loomis coming off the bench, 24 points in only 17 minutes. Maybe see him get a few more minutes here and there if he's feeling it like that. As we scroll through the rest of the stats, what are your thoughts, I guess, as this game has wrapped up with a honestly surprise considering how well Albany came into this game?
Yeah, I just gonna have to say that it's simple. Winnipeg was certainly a lot more hungry as the game winded down, and considering the fact that they just showed that it's on. There's no point of being friendly. They were really pissed about what happened back over in Winnipeg, and they really tried to come home and really take that advantage. As we see some more of these stats, as Coquinos just showing how dominant he was in this game with 24 points and 9 rebounds and 6 assists. So close to a double-double.
Yeah, and Baltave, no, not shy either on the offensive board. 19 points. Martineau, 15 points. It was definitely spread out. It was the starters for Winnipeg that did the bulk of the scoring, unlike the Alphas, where they had that big bench presence. But it was just efficient shooting from the Winnipeg bench when they needed it.
And I think it really just kind of goes to show of like why we play all four quarters because just from the opening like first 3 minutes of the game, it was all Albany. It was literally all Albany. They had like a close to like a 7-0 run,
They
and
were
then started.
100%. They were 8 for 8 to start the game.
Yeah, they were on fire offensively at the beginning, but then Winnipeg just really stepped it up defensively and just really just kind of ran away as we started the third quarter because well fourth quarter excuse me because that quarter was really the defining moment for this game.
Yeah, I mean, they came out of the half. They definitely were very hot, as you see there. 61% in the third quarter for the Voyagers. It's not to say the Alphas were any slouches putting up 24 points themselves, but like you said, that fourth quarter, if Albany started cold, they absolutely finished on fire, and it was the Alphas that started off extremely hot and just could not maintain that momentum. They were a candle that burned a little too quickly, whereas the Winnipeg Voyagers, they started off as a small flame, but by the end, they were an absolute inferno. The Alphas just could not put out.
So I do want to say this here, and because I feel like that as a former player myself, there's just some things you just don't do in the final minute when you know a game is pretty much done. And Winnipeg did just that, scoring to try and extend the lead over to 12 with that 3 point, and then of course Narkisa not taking too much kind into that by crossing up Eve and going for a quick mid range to end the game. And I think right now this should show that this is going to be a scrappy series from here on out. I think both teams are very well aware of both of them being very chippy. So I'm going to be pretty interested in seeing how this series goes as we head into game 4 and Winnipeg able to have momentum back on their side as they're now up 2-1. And you got to see that Albany just seemed pretty flustered by the end of this one.
Yeah, I mean they Winnipeg again made a great second half adjustment. We saw it in game two, we saw it in game three now. And Albany just needs to figure out what they need to do at the half. I mean, obviously they came in with a great game plan to start the game, and Winnipeg just adjusted. And that's not to say that Winnipeg's defense was overwhelming. I don't think Winnipeg's defense was overwhelming tonight. We definitely saw some good plays coming out from the defensive side, but I felt like Watterson was the bigger defensive factor in this game. So what did Winnipeg start doing? They started going to mid range. They started having Kokinos pull him away, as we saw the Dragon dishing down low into the post. I mean, if Watterson was pulled out to the perimeter, he wasn't there in the post to offer some helpful defense. Whereas with Albany, again, it still felt like they wanted to run through Narkissa, and in the beginning it was working. But the defense made the adjustments they needed to, and they were starting to shut her down in that second half.
Yeah, it really just kind of goes to show that someone else has to step up outside of Cassius, and especially when you have the the reigning MVP on your squad, you want to try and see if you can get some offense towards him as well. Right now, Albany has to do what they can to probably make sure that they don't go down 3-1 in this series because that'll be asking for trouble. Game 4 is going to show a lot of importance to see whether or not this is going to end early. But for now, I'll have to say that both games are. This game has been very intriguing. There's a lot of bad blood it seems between these two teams, and I'm very excited to see what happens in Game 4.
I am too. Any final thoughts before we head off for the night?
I think that right now I'm just gonna say that Game 4 is going to be very important. You do not want to miss it. It's going to be very exciting for us here. It's been a great series to kind of cast so far. Really glad to have this opportunity to do it with you, Ryan.
Thanks again, and it's been a wonderful night. Everyone, I hope you see you next game. And kids, don't forget to practice your free throws.
I'm going to kill you.
thanks again, and it's been a wonderful night. Everyone,